Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am doing great.
Real quick, before we jump in, Dr. Awesome, I actually responded to your email, unless you sent another one. I did respond to that. So a few hours ago, actually. So hi, everybody. You see my guest over here, Chris from Multitank Addiction. Before we jump into the interview, I just want to, anybody who's never been here.
That's me. Hold on. Mute. There we go.
Chris.
I didn't mute it. I'm a rookie, man.
For anybody that hasn't been here before, we don't look at the chat the whole first half of the conversation. It's just gonna be Chris and I. We're gonna be talking about stuff. We're not gonna be looking at the chat. So if you come in and say hello or you ask questions, we're not gonna see it at all. Save any of that stuff for the second half, and we'll let you guys ask questions or anything. But otherwise, can just real quick, can I get an audio video? Did Myrtle? Usually Myrtle jumps on it. I just, because everything's new, so I just want to make sure.
MSG says Rico looks extra shiny right now.
Extra shiny. Shiny, happy people. Okay. Just want to make sure before we jump in, you look and sound great. Okay, thanks, Matt. Okay.
All right, cool.
All right.
I'll minimize that browser so I can't even look at it. I'm going to minimize that too. There we go.
So let's see. I know a little bit about Chris. We've streamed together quite a few times, and I've seen a lot of your streams, although you're really not doing much anymore. You stopped doing the streams. You're going to do members-only streams, though, still.
Yes, because I made a commitment to my members and the people that, they're paying for it. So they're going to get a stream no matter what.
Gotcha.
So once a month, the last Tuesday of the month right now, it might be a different day later on, but as of right now, the last Tuesday of the month is members only chat, and I don't stream at all otherwise. And let me tell you, my stress level's gone way down.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Streaming stressful for you?
Well, I would spend 2 hours before every stream preparing.
Yeah, you do all those quizzes and stuff like that. Yeah.
It would take me an hour just to set up a quiz. So if I came up with a new quiz, I would have to set up 3 hours in advance so that I could have the quiz, and then I had to I have a sponsor that I update their ad every week. So their ad gets new pictures, and so I have to make a video every week just for their ad. And then
it's a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. I don't think I've ever really prepared for any single stream. I don't think I've ever once prepared. So stress levels are minimal for me. And in fact, streaming actually can minimize my stress levels. I actually feel better sometimes after doing a stream. I get energized from it, and it's great. Well, anyways, all right, let's jump in. So I know you live in California. I know you have. No, what did I say California for? Now I forgot. It's either Oregon or Washington. I don't even know.
It's right on the border of Oregon, but in Washington.
Why did I say California? I knew that because I knew that you were around all those other amazing people up there.
Mystery Snow Guardians just down the road. Atkins Nature Aquariums, Bateson's Genetics, Daniken Aquatics, of course. They're all in Portland, Vancouver area.
Yeah. I knew that.
Among others.
Wife said California. I knew that.
I don't know. Maybe you thought I was near to Zenzo or something. I don't know.
I was making sure you knew where you were at. That's what I was testing.
It was just a test.
And let's see. I know you've been married for quite a few years to your wonderful wife, Wendy.
Yes.
I know you have 2 sons.
2 sons that are mine, and then a son and a daughter that are hers.
Gotcha.
I don't see my stepson as much, but my stepdaughter lives with us, so I see her all the time. unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding. She's my princess. So,
and how long have you lived in that area? Has it been your entire life? Have you?
Most would say it's my entire life. It's pretty much since I was 6. So,
gotcha. Oh, you're from
Sykeston, Missouri.
That's not what I was going to say. See, I'm guessing too much. Because I, again, we've talked quite a bit, and I've seen a lot of your streams and stuff. So I feel like I knew some of these things, and
I throw curveballs too. So, well, it's the thing. Here's the thing, though. You guys don't know this, but this guy over there, I got to remember my sides with the cameras. This guy over here, he interviews like everybody known to man. He's already interviewed like half of the fish fam at least.
Oh, not even close. There's so many. There's thousands of people in the fish fam.
I know, but you interview a lot of people, and it's hard to keep track of everything when you're interviewing people all the time. So,
well, I feel like you're giving me an out, and I appreciate that. But I sort of pride myself a little bit on remembering people's names, their real names, and calling them by their real names in the streams and stuff, and knowing things about people that I've watched your content for going on 2 years now. So anyways, let's keep moving on. So you've lived in that area for most of your life. You're from Missouri originally. But you didn't have a choice. Obviously, you were 6 when you moved up.
But they really didn't listen to me when I told them I didn't want to move.
Our opinions aren't too weighted heavily at 6 years old.
No.
And have you ever wanted to leave the area? Do you absolutely love it there?
No, I don't love it here at all. There are 3 things that keep me here. That's it.
Family.
My boys, Cameron and Noah. And my wife doesn't want to go too far east because her mom lives about an hour and a half from here. So otherwise my butt would be in Missouri. That's where 90% of my family is. My parents live on the border of Idaho and Washington. So that would be the only other place that I'd want to live is Idaho or Missouri.
Idaho.
Mm-hmm. Idaho.
And what don't you like about the area? What really? I mean, you don't have to get too deep into it if it's like politics and things like that. But if that's part
it's just the state politics are opposite of mine.
Okay.
I don't want to be here because I don't agree with their politics. So
okay. And I hear that from different people in different places, around the country, around the world, but definitely around the country. So I get it. And what do you currently do for a living? I know you've worn a lot of different hats.
I have. I'm a man of many talents.
Let's go back. Let's go back. What was your very first job you ever had that you got paid for?
Very, very first job that I actually worked for an employer.
Yes.
Okay. Because my first job was, collecting cans and mowing lawns. But my very first job was at a grocery store. I was a bagger.
I've done that. I've been there. Yep.
Yeah. Went from being a bagger. I literally walked across the street and applied at a Round Table Pizza. That lasted about a month at the bagger job. My grandma got me that job. So I didn't like it. I was really good at bagging. It was very important. You got to put the cans at the bottom.
Yeah.
Square everything up so that when you go to grab that bag, it is just a brick. They wanted everything nice and tight.
There's a skill. But then you get those people who want it double bagged and triple bagged, and they've got to have this one and this stuff in that bag. And I remember what that was like.
Yeah. Well, that was, when I was 15 years old. So 43, almost 44 years ago. No, 33. Damn, I just gave myself 10 more years. That's hard.
So you said, what did you go across the street and do?
Went across the street to Round Table Pizza.
I worked at a Round Table Pizza. I got
Yeah, it
fired
was
from
like
Round Table Pizza.
the best sit down pizza shop. It's a chain that I mean, to this day, tomorrow when I get paid, probably going to take my wife to a Round Table Pizza down the street from here.
I haven't been to one of those in forever. Don't they have a sour crust pizza or sourdough pizza?
I think they have a sourdough crust, yeah, but
I miss a good sourdough pizza.
They had a salad bar, which I mean, we have Izzy's Pizza, which is a similar thing. It's kind of a buffet that has pizza and a salad bar, but they also sell stuff like steaks and burgers. And
gotcha.
You just walk up, I want a burger, and they put it on your plate, and you move on. But
we don't have those here.
Round Table is. I really liked Round Table working there, and
How long did you work there for?
I think about a year.
Okay,
it's hard to remember.
I was there for a month, maybe. I got fired. I got fired for something that I should have been fired for, but I had 3 jobs at the time. I was overworking myself, and it was just too much. And well, I'll just tell you, I was in the walk-in cooler, and I had a Dos Equis, I think it was, up like this when the manager walked in and caught me.
Drinking on a job.
Yep. I drank a beer I wasn't drunk. I drank a beer on the job. I think it was Dos Equis because it was the only one they had there that had a twist off. All the rest you had to have the
and it's hard to pop a top when you're in the walk-in.
And you're trying to hurry. Yes. I had 3 jobs, and I had been working every single day for like 4 months. Well, no, because I only had that job for about a month. So for 4 weeks, probably every single day. And I was getting burned out.
Yeah.
And but still, I looked at him and I go, I'm fired. And he goes, yeah, probably. Because you should probably leave.
I haven't quite decided yet, but probably, yeah.
So, that was very obviously should have been fired. I was a horrible employee there.
Yeah.
All right. So what was after Round Table?
Let me see. That was 15 to 16. Burgerville, which is a local hamburger restaurant. It's like a fast food like McDonald's or what have you, but Burgerville all the way through till I graduated high school. And my senior year, I actually worked 2 jobs, which I vowed to never do again after doing that. I worked as a housekeeper at the Shiloh Inn across the street.
Oh, gotcha.
I always liked to go, I'd go to a restaurant or someplace, I'd work there, and then I'd work across the street too. I always bounced across the street. It was weird.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, it's efficient, right?
I'm still going to the same area then. So, yeah. But
if you get off work at one on time, you can go right over to the other one and go to work. I mean,
Yeah, and I was working weekends because they didn't have a lot of people that wanted to work on the weekends to do housekeeping. So gotcha. I did that, and then I joined the military and went overseas and went to combat and came back. And
Army?
Navy.
Okay.
I was on a tank landing ship. It was a ship designed specifically to beach itself so that the Marines could take their tanks and their hovercraft and their amphibs and all that off and be able to storm the beaches, kind of like Normandy kind of thing.
Yeah.
But much more modern. Did that for a few years, and then
what did you do on that too? What was your main job on that?
Well, during combat, I was a gunner. I was a 50 cal operator, but during non-combat situations, I was in the deck department, and I was also the SAR swimmer, the search and rescue swimmer. If somebody fell overboard at any given time, didn't matter what time of day it was, I was the one that jumped into the water.
Gotcha.
So,
and are you a good swimmer?
I'm an excellent swimmer.
Okay, just making sure. Because that would suck. Like you jump in. Yeah. Wait, I can't swim.
I'm an excellent swimmer, but now after all of that and going over the Marianas Trench and all of that stuff, I'm terrified of swimming in water that animals could be swimming in.
Gotcha.
Like the ocean or even a lake. I don't like the idea of not knowing what's below me.
So if you can't see all the way down, you don't like to swim in it.
I'll pass.
Yeah, my wife is the same
or
exact
nothing
way.
now.
Yeah, she's the same way, but she never did any of that stuff. She just always has been that way.
It's funny because see, I'm terrified of heights. Always have been. Can't get up a ladder more. A 6-foot ladder, you would not see me at the top of. I was hanging by a rope and a board this wide on the side of the ship with a paint bucket, painting it. And I was fine because I had a safety harness on. I could swing all day. I was having a blast. But you take that safety harness off, and I'm like grabbing onto the rope. No, pull me up now. I can't even get parts at work that are at the top of the 10-foot ladder because
you start shaking. Your legs start shaking and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really afraid of heights. I'm afraid of falling.
Yeah, that's usually what it is. Yeah.
I mean, I'm fine. I've been up to the top of the Space Needle. Look right over the edge. I'm like, this is creepy, but I know I'm not going to fall, so I'm fine. Because if I fall over, I'm just going to fall into a glass wall. They're both Space Needles enclosed now. So
yeah.
But yeah, I did that.
Open. Okay, so Navy
came out, and then did odd jobs, construction, security, got married, had children.
I like how you put that with the odd jobs, got married. Hopefully Wendy's not watching, right?
Well, that was my ex-wife. So
okay, so that's all right.
It was work.
Okay, yep.
But I've done a lot of things. After the divorce and everything, I've had many food service jobs. What was it? I tried to be a truck driver. Did that for a little under a year, and realized I couldn't see my family. So
yeah,
I quit that, and then I went to culinary school, got my associates in Le Cordon Bleu, and wanted to be a chef because I've always been in food service. And because there's a Le Cordon Bleu around here, the area is oversaturated for chefs. So you can expect minimum wage as a chef.
Wow.
In a restaurant around here. And that didn't work for me. I had 30 years experience.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, it's a skilled position. You would think that it would be.
Yeah, I mean, but I had to go to college.
Got so many of them,
But yeah, no, nothing. So I did that. Then I did. I had about 10 years of working for OnTrack as a delivery driver, package handler guy. Basically, UPS, FedEx, DHL. Those are the top 3. OnTrack is number 5 in the country. So. Gotcha. Did deliveries all in downtown Portland for almost 10 years. And then got in trouble. Got trespassed from the property. And I said something. Somebody else overheard it, thought I said something else. And the HR lady didn't like men. And I was gone. So worked at Walmart. Did little Postmates, and now I am at Advanced Auto Parts and pushing my way towards assistant manager.
Did you do IT stuff for a while in there too?
Yeah. Let me see. That was part of that odd jobs portion with my ex-wife. I owned my own computer repair business. It was an on-site computer repair business. What was it? It was SuperTech PC repair. So
multi-PC addiction.
Yeah. I had that problem too.
Yes. Because I remember we had talked about that you, because again, that was something else we had in common because I did the IT stuff for so long. And I knew that you had done that as well. So
yeah.
When was that roughly time period?
95 to 2000-ish.
Okay.
I bounced around quite a bit. I was trying to find my place.
That's a good time, though, to be in IT because it just blew up from that time period. It really did.
Yeah. If I would have been smarter and got an employee, I'd probably be, the owner of a larger than normal PC repair shop. But I didn't. Instead of growing, I decided I'm going to back up a little bit here. I got too many customers and I can't keep up with them. And in the effort to keep the ones that I'd had for the longest amount of time, I decided to pare everything back, which seems to be a trend. I mean, I'm doing it on YouTube now. I'm paring stuff back so that I can focus on my favorite parts.
Overextending yourself, I guess, huh?
I do that.
Gotcha.
It's in my nature, I guess.
Yeah. Gotcha. We all have our things.
Right?
We all have our things.
I have an addictive personality, so
yeah, I do too. I really get tunnel vision on stuff. Doesn't matter what
funny
it means,
because
whatever.
I've got ADD too, so it's like I have an addictive personality. I'll focus on something. Okay, next focus. This is the only thing that has lasted more than a year.
And how long has it been?
Since I was 12. I've always had an aquarium.
Gotcha.
Always had an aquarium. Started off with what was it? It was Harlequin Rasboras, black skirt tetras, and zebra danios. I didn't have any neons, and some peppered Corydoras. That was my first tank that I can remember.
Gotcha. Yeah, so it's been a long time then. Well, you definitely know your stuff. You can tell.
Sometimes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you ask me questions about tetras, and I'll be like, let me get back to you on that.
Yeah, but if it's cichlids.
That's a different story.
Yeah, especially the South Americans, right?
Yes, that's my focus, my love, my joy.
Yeah. So you're currently at the AutoZone, you said? Which one?
Yeah, I'm at Advanced Auto Parts.
Advance, okay.
Some people know it as CarQuest. So, yeah, it's the largest parts company in the United States.
Is it? I mean, I know they're here too, but I didn't realize they were that.
They're the largest in the U.S. They've got everybody beat by some of them by hands and foot. I mean, Napa used to be the largest, and then Advance bought CarQuest, and then they bought Baxter's Auto, which is a local parts company here. They've got WorldPack. There's a whole bunch of different companies that all fall under the Advanced Auto Parts umbrella, and it made them the largest in the U.S.
I don't remember the last time I've been to one. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I had never. There was a CarQuest on the main street in downtown, and I think I'd been there twice because there was an O'Reilly's across the street, and I preferred O'Reilly's. I just liked, the people in there, the feel, the prices were good. So I always went to O'Reilly's.
Do you have Manny, Mo, and Jack up there, Pep Boys? Do they have those guys?
We had a Pep Boys for a while, and they didn't do diddly. They did terrible.
They were all over Arizona. We don't have them up here either that I'm aware of. But
yeah, they tried to just hang on by doing only tires. Didn't work.
Manny, Mo, and Jack.
But yeah, it was. Oh gosh, it was Shucks before it was O'Reilly's. You guys have Checkers across the country too, or other people do. It used to be Checkers and Shucks.
The Checkers that I know is a fast food place.
Well, it was a Checkers Auto Parts, and then because their logo was a checkered flag.
Yeah.
With
I don't remember if I've ever seen
streaming behind it.
So you like doing retail stuff though, or is it just sort of what you've fallen into? I mean, do you enjoy the job?
It's what I do good.
Gotcha.
I would much rather be selling fish and helping people, enjoy their hobby. That would be where I'd be happiest.
Yeah. Which you've made strides recently to do that. You do have your website up and running, and
I'm steps closer.
Now, are you selling fish currently right off your website? You are, right? Plants.
I will be. I'm not currently.
Okay.
The website is up. It's not complete. As I was coming on to the backstage here, I was in the process of pricing out roseline sharks so that I could put them on the website. So I still got a whole bunch of fish that I have to put up. Sharks. Let's see here. What were the other ones? I was going to do Grammies. I was going to do. I'm skipping libears and bettas because that's just. I ain't got enough tanks for that stuff. Corydoras, some catfish. Most of the catfish actually are going to be skipped on. A metric ton of plecos. Because Rocco's my best friend, so his focus is plecos. So of course I got to make sure that my homie's got plecos available to him.
Gotcha.
There will be, of course, angelfish, discus, a bunch of South American cichlids, about 5 or 6 different types of Central American cichlids, and that's pretty much it. I was going to stay away from African cichlids because they're not as popular in Washington and Oregon as they are in like California.
What about like invertebrates and stuff, snails and shrimp? That
was going to be a secret. It's all your fault. Rainbow fish, and yes, I wasn't going to do shrimp. I was just going to do snails, and I've got 4 snails that I was going to have on the website. The Japanese trapdoor snail, the narite snail, just a standard narite, the tiger narite, and the zebra narite are the ones that are available to me.
Gotcha. So, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That was just I bumped the mouse and it just happened to hover over something for a split second, flashed at me. I wanted to get those ones that Chattanooga Ed has, and I can't remember what they're called. It's like devil horns or something. I think they're rabbit snails. But I think there's room out there for somebody to really get into all the different types of snails. You know what I mean? A lot of the websites do have a bunch of different ones, but somebody could really really dig in and find. I mean, there's so many different types. It would be cool to be able to have access to all of those.
Well, and I'd also like to be able to dip into local resources and be able to, like for instance, I haven't even asked her. I'm not even saying that I probably will ask her. But I was going to ask Mystery Snail Guardians if she wanted to sell me some snails and see about that. But I haven't asked her yet, so I can't really say. I don't know what would happen, but it would be awesome if I could get snails from her, because I would market them as Mystery Snail Guardian snails as its own line. Basically, you want to get the Mystery Guardian snail packet. Get these snails, and you'll get the pack. Sell them as a group.
That would be cool, and Annette definitely knows her snails, so I would feel very comfortable buying snails from her, and not to take away from like Roxanne and all the rest of them.
Oh no,
but I would definitely feel comfortable from buying from her too.
Well, and she can drive them over. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Ian was on my stream earlier, and he's like, "Hey, if I ordered this, and this, can I just pick it up at your house?" And I'm, yeah. I'm not going to charge you $25 for shipping for it to go from my side of the river to your side of the river. No, come over, dude. Spend the $25 in gas to get here.
Yeah.
He drives. He lives like 10 minutes away, but gas price joke, bad joke.
So shifting gears a little bit, we talked about all the different jobs and stuff you had and your family life and everything. Now, how long have you and Wendy been married?
4/16/16.
That's easy to remember.
Yeah, my birthday's the 17th.
Do you still get anniversary gifts?
We don't give each other anniversary gifts. We have our anniversary gift to each other is usually a trip to the beach for that weekend.
Yeah,
so
it's cool.
Like last year, we went to the beach and we had a blast. Seaside, she loved it. She's like, "We got to do this every year," and I go, "Sold," because my ex-wife would go to the beach every week, and I couldn't handle it. That was just too much beach. But
yeah,
I can handle once a year. I can handle that. That works out. So
summertime, I love being on the beach. Of course, our beach is a little bit different. It's lake and not ocean.
But yours more than likely is warmer.
No, Lake Ontario stays pretty cold.
Oh, okay, Ontario,
it's an incredibly deep lake, so it stays very, very cold. Yeah, it's
all right. Well, then it's very similar to mine because I am the northern Pacific coast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's a beautiful area. That's one place I've never been. I've seen so many pictures and videos and documentaries because I'm a kayaker. All that is an incredibly beautiful area.
Well, and there's Goonies too. That was filmed in Astoria, which is right on the border between Oregon and Washington.
Don't tell Ed that; he'll never come up. He hates the Goonies.
Oh, he does?
It's a running joke.
Well, the thing is that house, it's funny. You say that. The house is owned by a private owner, and they absolutely hate it when people come by and knock on the door. They're like, "No, you can stand outside the fence, take a picture of my house, and leave. That's all you get." So
yeah, that would be horrible. I can imagine. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine living in a place like that where people are constantly coming by? And I would grow to hate the movie too.
Randoms, you just random people just want to take a picture of your house because right.
Excuse me.
Yeah, no, I'm good. But the Astoria Rock is off the coast. I can't remember what it's called, but it's that iconic rock in the movie. It's just a little island basically right off the coast, and you can go to the beach and see it. I can go to the beach right now and I could see it. I don't want to, but I could.
I don't want to, yeah.
But yeah, we've been married since 2016.
Gotcha. Okay.
We had a Civil War wedding. I dressed up as an officer, and she dressed up as a maiden, kind of like Gone with the Wind type thing.
That's a good segue. Well, now, are you into like reenactment stuff? I was going to get into your hobbies next. You just
not really. It's just that I was like, you know what? We both have been married before. We had a normal wedding. It was really expensive for our families. My parents paid for whatever on my wedding. My ex-wife's parents paid a metric ton for our wedding because they had we had a traditional wedding, and then. Same thing on her side of the family. Her dad had passed away, so it was up to us to pay for our wedding. So I was like, "Hey, why don't we just go get a cake at Winco, or whatever grocery store you insert name here? Let's go get a sheet cake and take it to our church and have a Civil War wedding." My dad was the pastor. He wore the old white bolo tie style tie and a black on black suit, and he was our pastor, and we had an old school country wedding on the West Coast, which didn't make any sense for the region, but we had our wedding pictures at Fort Vancouver because there was a trading post in Vancouver. The Lewis and Clark Trading Company had a trading post for pelts and skins, and it was because there were Native Americans in this region. It was a fort.
Yeah.
So, big old timber walls around it. Pretty cool.
Well, I thought maybe that was going to lead into hobbies because I thought maybe it was something. So
my addictions are my hobbies.
Talk about them then. Other than fish keeping, obviously that's probably the big one. What other
Right.
kind of stuff do you like to do? Do you get out and do anything? Do you
Let me
like to stay
see.
home and play video games? What's your
Is sitting on your butt a hobby?
Yes.
I do that frequently.
I enjoy that
No,
hobby as well.
Cars, ironically, are something that I love. And, in the last 6 months or so, I bought a 1965 El Camino from the guy across the street from me. Another across the street situation here. But yeah, his son passed away, and his son left him a brand new Dodge Challenger SRT8. And his wife was like, hey, you can only have one muscle car. Which one is it going to be? The El Camino or our son's Challenger? And he's like, I want both. So he came to me. I was outside mowing the lawn, actually. And he's like, hey, how do you feel about buying the El Camino? You said if I ever decided to sell it, that you wanted me to come to you first. Well, here I am. I was like, let me go inside and see if I can get a loan real quick. I'll be right back. Half an hour later, I had been approved for a loan, and I said, yes, I want to buy it. And he wanted $10,500 for it. And then we came over and had dinner that night, and he told me, you know what, let's make it $9,500. And then the next day, when we were actually supposed to go and sign papers, we came over for lunch. He goes, hey, you know what, let's make it $8,500. I was like, you know what? Can we stretch this out for a couple more days, and I'll just keep coming over for meals and see if we can get this any lower on,
expensive
your
meals.
So every meal cost him $1,000. I'm like,
now, are you really into El Camino specifically, or just that type of car? Just
it's the car really more than anything else. It is my yellow. If you've seen my logo, that yellow that's on my logo is FFF 700. If you ever have to do the hexadecimal code for it, that is the same exact color as the El Camino. It's the same. I didn't do it on. That isn't how that worked out. That's
not a factory color though, is it?
No. The factory color is actually called Royal Red. It's a burgundy. Kind of like the red that's reflecting off of the Fish Room Fever sign in the background when your sign flashes red.
Okay.
It's like that right there. It's a deep red. And I've contemplated taking it back to that color, but with a metal flake in it. But I disdain the color red. I can't stand the color red.
Gotcha.
I like blue more than red. Yellow was my favorite color when I was a kid, so
leave it.
But I'm going to leave it yellow. What I'm going to do is it's got a bunch of 1980s, late 70s, early 80s pinstriping, and it's like decals, but they painted it. So it's got all this fancy pinstriping and stuff on it. I'm going to sand it all down, repaint it the same yellow, but instead I'm going to put a single SS stripe on the hood and a matching stripe on the trunk or tailgate.
Does it need any like real mechanical work? I mean, is it
minor? We're talking like the valves need to be adjusted right now. It's making a little bit of rocker knock when I put my foot into it.
And you enjoy doing that kind of work on them too? Is that what you say? That's a hobby, is working on the cars?
This season, kind of this time of the year is terrible for it. I don't have a garage because I have a fish room.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it rains a lot here, as many people know. So like today is the only day out of my 2 days off that it's not raining. So it would be better if I was outside, but I'm not going outside because I'd rather be here. I've been wanting to talk to you forever.
Well, that's bad though. I mean, I don't want to take you away from your.
You know what? It's what time at your house right now?
7:15, just about.
Okay, it's 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 4 o'clock here.
You got.
I still got 3, almost 4 hours of sunlight.
Yeah.
I'm good.
All right.
We can take as long as we need, as long as you need. I don't care. I've got buddies that have garages. At the worst case scenario, I'll be like, hey, can I bring the El Camino over and adjust the valves, and they'd be like, heck yeah, bring it, dude. All my friends love the car. So
gotcha.
But yeah, I love working on it. It's got a lot of issues that are minor, carburetor needs to be rebuilt. I think there's a vacuum leak somewhere in there going on. I've lost some horsepower since I started driving it on a regular basis. It was a garage queen when I got it, so it's got a leaking windshield. I've got all the stuff to redo it, but no knowledge other than YouTube. So I'm a professional. But other than that, it's just like that. I've got some electrical issues. Whoever did this, I want to smack. Open hand, smack them. I got wire nuts and electrical tape under my dash. Those two things should never exist in a classic car. Wire nuts are for household repairs, electrical repairs, not for a car. You do end butt connectors and shrink tape and all that kind of stuff. Do it right. Solder it.
See, I would never even dig into it because I absolutely hate working on cars. I've always hated working on cars. Even when I had my Volkswagens and they were more of a hobby than a car, I just hate it. Always hated it.
Yeah, I got that thing and I drove it for a month, did an oil change, drove it for 2 weeks, did another oil change, drove it for another month, did another oil change. I'm flushing the engine out because it still had break-in oil in it. Metal flakes. It was like a stripper blew up in the oil pan. I just glitter everywhere. So I've been flushing the engine out by doing oil changes like every 2 weeks to a month in the hopes to clear it up, in the hopes that it's not actually the bearings going out, but that it's just the break-in oil.
How many miles are on it? How many miles?
It's got 35,000 miles on it right
35,000 original miles on it.
35,000 original on this motor.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how many miles it actually has because the speedometer had been replaced with an aftermarket one, and the speedo was set to the motor when the motor was. So
gotcha.
I don't think it was intended to ever go back on the road. It was the way that I got it. The previous owner was in the process of making it street legal again. So there are some things like that I won't discuss, but there are things about that car that are not up to snuff. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So
what other types of hobbies do you have? I mean, is there anything else that really?
I like all kinds of things that are a little bit, some people wouldn't expect. The last couple of years, my parents have been giving me wood models. And I've got one that I actually got randomly from my sister a couple of years ago. It was a wood kit. You break out the little pieces and you put it together to make it.
Usually balsa wood, right? Usually.
Yeah. And it was a wood model of a robot, and it had joints for the wrists, and the arms could bend and the legs could bend and all of that. And it had a music box in it. You could twist the music box, and it had a glass globe or plastic globe on the top. You could see the inside, and you could see gears moving around and the little things spinning. And it played Rocket Man was the music in the music box. Nice. It's kind of cool. And then my parents got me last year. They got me a semi truck one, and I've gotten about a quarter of the way through it. And it's just whenever I'm bored and I'm just watching YouTube or what have you.
Yeah.
And I want to do something else on top of that because my brain ADD. I'll grab that and I'll put it on the TV tray and I'll just start tearing into it. But I like those. I do plastic models too. I'm a huge Star Trek fan.
Gotcha.
So I got.
I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you because our friend Alexander Engelhart just did his usual thing.
Holy moly cow!
Yes, that's what Alexander does. That's an interesting number there. 11235. It's because Alexander's almost always even numbers. So what does that mean? I wonder if there's a meaning to that. And Alexander, thank you so much. Like always,
that's amazing. That's awesome.
He does that so many times a month. It shocks me every time. One day they all loaded. They killed me the one day. I was out for a week with my illness, and I came back, and they all jumped. They all piled on to it, and I was bawling like a little baby. I was just crying.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, how just amazing it is, and how good it makes you feel.
We're in a very generous community, so
incredibly generous. This camera that we were talking about, that was given to me by Fish Fam members. A laptop that I'm running off of, a very, very nice laptop, which Matt still hasn't blue screened again. I think we got it. The router, all of those things are all from Fish Fam people. It was all a big surprise, and
if it weren't for that, then we probably wouldn't have been able to meet up today.
Not today, but sooner or later. Sooner or later, yeah.
But
because I popped
in, and you're like, "Well, I would love to have a stream with a guest, but I don't have a guest, so I'm not going to do that today." And I'm like, "Oh, no."
Honestly, I shouldn't have done it because it stressed me out this one time just because I actually had problems with the camera for a little bit. Anyways, I don't want to get into it. All right, we'll forget about that. Let's keep moving on. And thank you again, Alexander. Alexander's actually our guest next Tuesday. We're going to get to learn more about, because Alexander does that not just for me, but a couple other channels as well, quite regularly. Awesome. And looking forward to getting to know more about him. And he's been very supportive of the Fish Fam in general. So that's next Tuesday when we're interviewing Alexander. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All right. Anyways, back to you. We actually have in the basement, we have a sailing ship. I'll have to see if I can find it. If I do, I'm going to send it to you because it's a wooden model and it's it's a sailing ship. It's got canvas sails. It's not huge. The box itself is probably about a foot, a little bit over a foot long.
Yeah.
I have to see if I can find it, but I know it's brand new in the box. I don't remember where we got it from, but I'll send it to you because I would love to see somebody who actually enjoys making those types of models.
Oh yeah, I love it. The semi truck is, like I said, I haven't gotten the cab on. I got all the frame done. Get this, you know what a gas tank looks like on a semi truck, right? The old Kenworth gas tanks, the big 55 or 100-gallon cylinder. You make that out of a piece of wood. What they did is they zigzag cut a strip, and you roll it into it like one of those old desks that you roll up the lid on. You roll it into that thing, and it makes it look like a cylinder. I was like, how did they come up with that? How did they come up with that idea?
Yeah,
it's really cool. So I've got the bottom end done on the car or on the truck. I've got the axles in and everything. The dash and the seats are in. I just got to do the cab and the hitch and everything, because it's got that big flat plate that
I mean, I know that your channel is Multitank Addiction and you're mostly just fish stuff, but that would be interesting content. I feel a lot of people would like to see that process, even if it's just more like a slideshow type, images. I feel like that could be something you could do on the channel.
Yeah, see, I've got 2 YouTube channels, and on my previous channel, the old one, which used to be the Coolinator, which some of our subscribers know me as the Coolinator. I posted a video of my then Green Terror eating a goldfish. It was right at the beginning of YouTube for me, because I'd seen other videos of people feeding their fish goldfish. So I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll do that too. I threw it in there. He ate it. It was dead when he ate it, but he ate it. And I had subscribers who were like, dude, is this a hunting channel or is this an aquarium channel? Because it was supposed to be a hunting channel, outdoors channel, really more than anything. And I got people upset with me. So I learned I took that knowledge and I will not divert from
Gotcha.
aquariums on the aquarium channel. My outdoors channel is slowly being shifted to an automotive channel now, because my other hobby is my El Camino, and all of the things that I have to do, I could have content for years on that car.
And I get that. I've heard that before. I mean, Bob Kaler had mentioned that when he changed the name of his channel, a lot of things just took a nosedive. And I've heard other people talk about that too. When they add different things in, I don't know. I guess you got to find the right combination if you want to do that. So,
well, like Sharpies, for instance, has models and things.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot of models, and when you go into his streams, he'll get his subscribers that are there for the models will pop in for the fishy stuff.
Yeah.
Some of the ones that will tolerate it. There's others that are like, oh, he's talking about fish again today. So
I'm out of here. Well, I know Whip. I know Whip, my buddy Whip's World. That's what he wants to do, because the name of his channel, he said that specifically, it's Whip's World. So I'm going to have everything on there. Everything in my world is going to be on there. So anyways, I'm sorry. We're getting off the topic too much. So wooden models, you like doing that. What about, let's say, video games? You into video games at all?
Not anymore. I used to be really hard into video games. Way back on PC, and then in the Xbox, I've got every generation of Xbox up until the most recent one. I just don't got $600 to throw into a console.
Yeah.
If I'm going to spend $600, I'm going to spend it on a PC. So, but yeah, I just recently got rid of Xbox Live Gold a couple days ago, actually. So I'm just going to be able to use my consoles only to watch TV, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. Name your Apple choice. Yeah. But
I play a lot. I play usually on the Xbox, but now they gave me this laptop. It's considered a gaming laptop. It's got a nice video card.
I saw the stats. It looks really nice.
So I've been playing a few games on it, but I like to get out of here. I like to get out of, this is my office. So I work, I'm retired, but I do my freelance stuff in here. I like to
work.
Yeah.
This is the same thing here.
So I like
when
I
walk out the door. When I walk out the door into the garage, my wife's okay. He just went to work. As soon as I walk out here, she knows I'm working. So when she opens the door, she cracks it.
Yeah.
To make sure that I'm not sitting in front of the computer talking to myself.
I have something. Oh, yeah, because that could happen too. Hold on. I want to show you something that my daughter made me real quick. That is right up that alley. So hold on 1 second.
Oh, I think I know what this is. We've talked about some of the stuff your daughter's made, and your daughter has made some really cool stuff. So, how's it going, guys?
All right, sorry about
that.
That's
called a blue-based red.
I always turn my camera off when I get up because I get up like an old man, because that's what I am. So I have this outside my door.
Oh, right on.
So they know that if I'm in here, so it hangs on the door. So she made.
And now they're going to walk by and they're going to be confused. Where the heck's the sign?
Well, they know tonight. I told them, but she's made a lot of really cool stuff. She really did.
I liked the YouTube the play button that she made for you.
Yeah, she did a really good job on it. She's very, very. Tucker's trying to get back in. He left. I knew he was going to do this. She's just very talented. Anyways, okay, so no other real hobbies though. We covered most of the hobbies. Nothing else that you do that's a little, especially quirky stuff. I always like learning about quirky things. I think wooden models are sort of a little quirky.
I mean, well, here, I'll show you something that I got. This is how deep into video games I got. Okay, let me right back. Oh man!
And I actually have to leave again too because Tucker's clawing at the door. So hold on.
Dang, this thing's got some
My
dust
son
on
came
it.
in. My son came and got him.
Oh. You ever heard of the video game Titanfall?
Yes.
Okay. This is the collector's edition that came with.
Is this here? Let's put you on the big screen here. Is this a model or is it just a figure?
It's like a figure.
Okay.
I mean, give you an idea.
Wow.
This is a 125 gallon aquarium.
Wow.
And it does this too.
That is huge.
So
I have no figures like that.
He's got blue in there. And then if you click the button one more time, it switches their colors. Because this guy is supposed to be jumping on the back to destroy the Titan.
That is cool.
And it's got a little light down here that flickers. It's kind of cool. I mean, I paid $200 for a $60 video game so that I could get this.
Yep.
So
I've been there. I've been there.
Yeah, my kids have asked me a couple times, can I take the Titan home? No. I paid too much money for it. So instead it sits on top of the Paludarium tank.
So did you play Titanfall 2?
Yes, I have played both of the Titanfalls. Actually, Titanfall was the game where I met most of my friends for online. We became like a squad, and we were quite unbeatable. It really irritated a lot of 12-year-olds. Because, oh my Lord, they were just upset because we would communicate. And we had codes for where people were on certain maps.
My son-in-law plays, I'm not sure what all different games he plays, but they have very specific thing where they'll call in airstrikes and stuff, and they have to have exact locations, and it's just crazy, all the different codes and stuff. I mean, it's
you actually become like a tactical team, and we were really quite unbeatable. It really irritated a lot of 12-year-olds, maybe some 13-year-olds.
Well, that should be a goal in everybody's life.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, we're actually an hour into this already, if you can believe that.
Yeah, but we haven't gotten to the questions. If people have questions,
I know that's where we're going to go now.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But I was gonna say I wanted to take a quick break and tell you guys that Ed is doing okay. He's in a lot of pain still. He's home resting. If anybody would like to have Ed's home address, he told me it was okay. You could send me an email. It's Rico stands at the top of the screen up there. And I will let you know where he lives. As long as I know who you are, which I'm not seeing anybody here that I don't know. But it'd be awesome if Fish Fam really just overwhelmed him with cards and, get well stuff. Mm-hmm. But he's going to be gone still for another, 4, maybe even 5 weeks from now.
Well, this was a major surgery after all. So.
I'm sorry?
It was a major surgery after all.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 It was big. Anyways, he's doing okay, though. A lot of us has talked to him. Bob Kaler has actually talked to him. I haven't heard his voice yet, but I don't know if Lefty has. A lot of us have talked to him, and he's doing okay now. So at least he's home and he can get some sleep. So is there anything you'd like to mention or say that we didn't touch on before we jump into questions?
Well, I do want to mention, I would like, for those of you that are religious, if you could do just a little prayer for my dad. He lost his brother a couple days ago, actually yesterday. And he is the oldest out of 5 boys and 2 girls. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys could just pray for my dad. It's more for him than for me. I didn't really know my uncle all that well. I only knew him when I was like 12. We went out there to visit occasionally when I was younger. But he lost his brother from COPD. So if anybody wants to know, he was a smoker, and so was I, and I'm down to vaping. Oh my goodness, Sarah. I'm sorry. Sarah has
Hi, Sarah.
It's my favorite kind, though.
It is. But you had a whole thing you did. I just say thank you for that doo-doo that you do, Sarah.
It's a super duper pooper sticker.
Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that.
You're always going to get my attention with poop on the screen. Sorry.
If you ever want to get Chris's attention, just poop on the screen.
Yeah, there you go.
And I want to say best of luck. I don't know what I want to say. My condolences and your dad is, hopefully there's something good that comes out of it. Maybe him and the rest of the family get closer together, whatever it is. Just hate to waste those opportunities. And I hate to say that like an opportunity, but those things happen in our lives, and to not learn from them and not try to take some meaning from it it's a lost opportunity.
Yeah. Because he lived in Southern Missouri, if my dad decides to go out there, I may not go to Aquashella so that I can afford to go out there and see the family again and have them meet my wife of almost 6 years, 6 or 7 years, 6 years. We're about to hit 6 years. For the love of God, none of my family has met my wife. Well, no, my aunts and my grandmother came out here a couple years ago, but none of my uncles. Yeah, I have an uncle that's 6 months older than me.
That's always weird. Yeah, that's always weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of my family has met. I mean, my mom and dad did, but they're both gone. And anyways, now I forgot. You were events this year. So you said Aquashella. You're hoping to go to what?
Aquashella, Dallas. Events? We're gonna drive to. We're gonna drive from Washington to Dallas.
Wow.
Because it's cheaper still than flying.
Wow.
Because to fly,
just you and Wendy, or is anybody else going with you?
Both my boys want to go. My daughter wants to go too, but somebody's got to stay home and take care of the fish.
Oh,
so
that sucks.
she's been delegated. Sorry, neither one of my boys have been on a road trip, a long road trip. The most of a road trip they've ever been to is like Seattle, 3 hours away.
Hated them. Hated road trips. Hated them.
See, I loved them when I was a kid. We drove to Missouri, and then with the Grand Canyon and Mount Rushmore, all of that stuff. You got to get out and drive, especially if you're in a classic car.
Hated it. My dad would take us I've said this before. We'd wake up. Now, at the time, we lived outside of Chicago. We'd wake up on a Tuesday morning. I'm in school. My dad said, "You're not going to school today. We're going to Ohio." And we're like, "Okay." And we'd drive to Ohio, and then we'd drive home, and that was it. But he was a driver for Coachman. They make RVs.
Yeah.
In northern Indiana, that's where they make them. And he would drive from the factory to the dealerships. He'd drive the RVs. So he just absolutely loved to drive. Ricky said, where or what part of Tennessee is he at? I'm sorry, Ricky. Did you mean Ed?
Probably. Because Ricky knows I'm not in Tennessee.
So now's the time. And was there anything else? Did we cover everything, or is there anything else you wanted to mention? Or
check out my website.
Okay. All right. So now's the time.
That's it.
Myrtle dropped it in there for us. And hello, everybody. Again, if you just came in and we didn't say hi, we didn't look at the chat, that's by design. It just that way we can focus on our guest instead of dealing with the chat as well and taking away from that. But now's the time. If you have questions for Chris, you want to know something about him, it can be fish related, but let's try and keep it a little more on the personal side of his life. Find out more about Chris as a person and not just a fish keeper. But now's the time. And thanks, Chris, for hanging out with us. I appreciate it.
I've been looking forward to it for at least a year.
Yeah, I did ask you a long time ago, but we had some miscommunication, and then.
Well, what happened is you asked me on Facebook Messenger, and I was really hard into Facebook Messenger at the time, and you asked me right before I stopped checking my Facebook Messenger for a while, and then when I noticed it, I was like, "Oh crap! Yeah, yes," and it was too late. You had already created a long list of people, and you're like,
"It's true.
I'll try to fit you in, but there's no guarantees." And I'm like, that's cool. So there's no hard feelings at all. It was more me not responding when I should have.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Miscommunication between us. And I want to get to everybody at some point. So, and please do, like Myrtle said too, do the @Rico stand just so it pops out at me. Now, can you see chat as well?
I can.
Okay.
I can see both the StreamYards, and to my right, I have another monitor that has the YouTube.
Okay.
Page
so
up,
if I don't feed you a question that you happen to see, feel free.
Well,
but the first one I see there Sarah. Is from John Select Pet. He says, "What's your favorite letter of the alphabet?"
Well, C. Duh. For Chris. Yes, and for those of you that know about my quizzes on my previous streams, just ask S what letter comes up more than anything for the answer.
I remember that.
It would be C. I don't know why. It just did. It just happened.
Matt said to tell you thank you for being here and making me do a focus on. Sarah says, what types of plecos are you going to have?
Oh, plecos list. Pull it out. All right. The list. Scroll up. Come on. Any day now would be great. Come on. You can do it. Scroll up. All right. This is what I've got listed. Don't know if I'm going to have all of them. There's a L12, L239. They're called the Ancestymon. We'll pass on that one. It's a scientific name. How about a blue Panaqua pleco, a blue phantom, a bushy nose or bristle nose?
Blue phantoms.
Clown plecos, Colombian zebra plecos, flat flyer plecos, green phantoms, high fin green phantoms, inspectors, medusas, mega clowns, orange, mega clown L340, orange seam pleco, the pseudo lithosuck. Litho sucks. It's Litho XUS. Tigress, the rubber lip pleco, snowball, spotted sailfin, tangerine tigers listed here, watermelon pleco, and the yellow zebra pleco. I am sad to not see a gold nugget on that list. I'm going to have to talk to my supplier.
That's still a very good list, though. I mean, that's a lot of, and you're going to try and carry all of those.
They're going to be available on the website. And if somebody orders one, I'll just order their one and I'll go out to the wholesaler and actually pick it up myself. So I'll make sure that it's in good shape. Basically, if I would buy it, then I'm going to buy it for you.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to be critical. I am super critical about fish. When I go out to pick up a new fish, like angelfish, for instance, they have to have a certain shape on their fins. If they're a different style than I like, no, not even going to bother. So, yes, that is correct, Mike M. Mickey M.
Down to him.
He wanted to know if it was the Ancestymon. Faldbergi.
So, what's your favorite and least favorite fish? And what's his favorite and least favorite fish and food? So, fish food,
favorite and least favorite fish foods.
Well, it says fish and food. So, let's start with fish food. Hi, Alice.
Well, I could bet you $10 that you know what my favorite fish is.
Does it start with an E?
No. Oh. Okay. I just lost $10. Damn. I thought we were friends. The rock heel severum is my favorite fish. All severums in general.
I thought you said favorite fish food.
Oh, food. No, I was referring to fish. Oh. My favorite fish would be the severum.
Okay. Sorry.
Specifically the rock heel severum, but I have been studying them for years, so I play with their genetics now. When you get really deep into a fish, you just start playing with their genetics to see what you can come up with. I came up with what I call a sunset severum. It's like a tequila sunrise drink, but on the side of a fish. Just imagine
Sounds
that.
delicious.
Least favorite fish would be a red blood parrot. I think they're an abomination of nature. I find zero interest in that fish. Now, foods. Extreme makes really good food for small fish, like my betta sorority over here that I keep pointing to that you can't see. All of my food for my betta sorority is Extreme. I get that from KG Tropicals, so it makes sense. They're a sponsor of KG Tropicals. They really love their product. These fish love this food, so I'm going to keep feeding them that. The rest of the fish room gets generic flakes that I got off of Amazon in a 5-pound bag.
Oh,
it's a huge bag, fills up a 3-gallon bucket. And Tetra food sticks. They're these guys are pigs. There wouldn't be any in there. They're tiny. They're not huge. They're about the size of this little.
Oh, okay. More almost like a pellet, almost.
Yeah, but it's in the stick form.
Gotcha.
And I've got a little bit of pellets that are in there. I don't have a food that I am not fond of, because basically I will buy any food to feed my fish if I don't have food. But when I buy a food specifically to buy food for my fish, my flakes go to all the little fish, and the Extreme goes to the bettas, and then that plywood aquarium gets food sticks and flakes because there's 60 fish in that tank. So
yeah. And I really. So this next question's from Myrtle. He says,
yeah.
If there's one thing you could change about Rico, what would it be? And other way around as well. And I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say, I wish that you would go back and do some more of those Diary of a Fish Keeper. I really enjoyed that series that you did. I get that you had a very specific, the tank that you were building at the time and stuff, but I really enjoyed that. So that would be my thing. So your question is, if there's one thing you could change about Rico, what would it be? Myrtle does this one a lot.
Myrtle, I would have loved to have gotten a little notice so I could think on this, because that is
spur of the moment.
I mean, it's like there's so many things that you need to fix, but
go quick. Just take the worst ones.
The worst thing I can think of is that I don't see any cichlids behind.
I have crebensis. That's it.
Those are some of my favorites, but
that's
what it would be. I'd say you need 125 with a Midas cichlid or some other, characteristical, mean, monstrous.
Not interested at this point.
Jaguar cichlid. A Cuban cichlid would be amazing. I think you'd actually like that.
Maybe in the future, but right now I'm actually thinking about downsizing. Zenny would like to know how Red's doing. Hi, Zenny.
Red is doing fantabulous. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the camera, so don't get seasick, guys. There's Red right there. It's a mess, but he's hanging out. He's doing great. He's just upset that he got downgraded from 125 to 90 gallons.
Okay. Sarah wants to know, what's your favorite type of food? Like pizza, Italian, Mexican, and what type of food do you like the most?
French. I'm French trained chef after all. This is what I can cook the best.
Oh, here we go. Another one in that same vein. What's your go-to dessert to make?
If I actually have time, creme brulee.
I don't know that I've ever had it.
Oh, well.
I've heard it, forever, but I don't know that I've ever had it.
Well, fat is where you get most of your flavor, right? Fat.
That's why I'm so flavorful.
Yeah, you're probably quite flavorful. I bet you I'm probably a
Fat
buffet over
jokes,
here.
Chris. Fat jokes.
But fat, bacon. The reason why bacon is so tasty is because it's smoked fat.
Yeah.
Pork bellies are fat. I mean, but creme brulee is egg, sugar, and it's a custard that's baked in the oven to solidify, kind of like a pumpkin pie kind of consistency. Not grainy like a pumpkin pie, but nice, smooth pudding like thing. And then what you do is you layer it with a thin layer of sugar, hit it with a torch to caramelize the sugar on top. And it's heaven in a ramekin, which is the little container that's what they call those little containers, ramekins.
That sounds good. I'm surprised. I probably have had it, and I just don't remember.
There was something, I can't remember what it was now off the top of my head, but there was something that was quite similar to creme brulee that I could use as an example. But like I said, I can't remember it off the top of my head.
And I see a ton of people in here. Well, there's currently 57, but I see Aqua Garden Zen, who I haven't seen in a while. Hello. Paul McCarthy, hope you're doing okay there. I know you're having some issues. Brooklyn Bell says she wants to know, what shape fins do you prefer with angelfish?
I prefer the rounded fins. So if it's got a long thready fin, I don't like those. They don't look right to me. It seems wrong. So you know how, let me see. Give me just a second to pull up my, I believe I have a photograph. I have so much B-roll and so much so many photographs of fish on my computer that I should be able to find something really quickly.
And speaking of that, did you enter this year? Now I know last year you were okay. We'll leave it. We'll leave it alone.
That upset me
too
much.
Okay.
Oh, it's about to get loud. The neighbor's about to start his lawnmower nope, that's a motorcycle. So I don't know if you can hear that or not.
Steven said he just learned that he's the most delicious man in the room.
Silky smooth.
And again, I'm all the way down to Alice's B's question, if he could travel. So if you asked before that, I've missed it, and please ask it again and do the @Rico stand for me so it pops out at me, if you would be.
All right, no, I don't have a picture, but I can find one on the internet really well. Just imagine an angelfish that has multiple rays in the fin, and it just does a smooth, rounded edge all the way around it.
Not a point.
Not a point. I don't like the pointy tipped or thready finned angelfish. And I'm going to find a picture here in a second. If my interwebs will cooperate. Dude, that smells like a lawnmower. Ooh.
I don't hear it.
You're lucky. I can smell it. So it's more than likely a lawnmower.
While you're looking for that, think about this question. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? So as you're looking.
Okay, so I can tell you right off the top of my head that it would be Sasebo, Japan. I was stationed there in the Navy. I absolutely loved it. And I would go back there as many times as humanly possible. It was like home, but with nice people. Everyone's polite in Japan. So polite to a fault even. So there's that. But what the heck? Okay, yeah. I found a picture. I'm going to share it for you after I finish downloading it.
Okay.
And actually, I'm just going to share the page.
And your next question is your last meal. What would be your last meal? Any prison rules? Oop, it went away.
Yeah, it was flickering.
Okay.
I had to share it again. There you go.
Your last meal. What would you have for your last meal? Like, let's say you're death row, and your very last meal, anything that you wanted, what would it be?
Braised chicken chasseur with homemade mashed potatoes, sweet peas, and creme brulee for dessert.
Chicken what?
Chicken chasseur.
Chicken
A
chasseur?
French dish. It's a braised chicken in a mushroom tomato sauce, predominantly tomato, but it has 3 different types of mushrooms: oysters, creminis, and if you're really light on the funds, you could go with a white button as well. But oyster mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, and white buttons.
That sounds delicious.
It's also my signature dish. That's what I graduated culinary school with. It was like, if you could make anything, what would it be? And that ended up being my final, was a black box. You have to make this. And I was like, oh, I don't even need the recipe. I have it memorized already.
Nice. Well, someday you'll have to make that for me because it sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's expensive too. It's like $35 a plate to make.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll love it.
So I see what you mean by the rounded fin. It's almost like a thumb. It's such a thicker. Yeah.
That right there, I love. If the bottom fin was the same, I would jump on that fish. But I'm that picky. I do have an angelfish that has the thready fins, top and bottom, upstairs in my tannin tank, but it's so tanned that I can't even see the fins.
Oh, gotcha.
The tank is so dark. So,
hey, and I'm sorry to change the subject here, but I just saw that Peplin said, really appreciate what you guys did. Thank you. Was there an unboxing done, Peplin, by chance? Was there something that showed up for you guys maybe today? Curious. And Tucker's back at the door.
Of course. You know how dogs are. I'm surprised Duke hasn't tried to get in here already.
Hi, Lefty. Let's see. So I'm at the bottom of the chat, and I'm not seeing any more. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's one from Myrtle I missed. You have to get rid of 3 letters in the alphabet. What are those 3 and why?
Oh my Lord, that's so easy.
Yeah.
You know, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. WTF. I mean,
you'd get rid of those? I use them too much.
I had to get rid of them.
Yeah, so you no longer.
Oh, I thought you said what would be your favorite 3 letters?
Yeah, those.
Definitely WTF.
Yes.
Get rid of. Myrtle has the strangest questions, doesn't he?
He does. Makes it interesting.
Yeah, well, that's things that you don't think about.
Yeah.
Obviously, he does, but I don't think about that very often. Let's see. Least favorite letters would be W. Is not a W, so I hate that letter. It's
more
V.
like a double V.
It's double V. Y is pretty self-explanatory. Probably the end of the alphabet. W, Y, and Z would be my least favorite letters. We really don't need those letters, which is funny because one of them's in my last name. But
you could do without. It's one less to have to write. So
you can just extend the A, and then it's still Lawson. It's just Lawson.
Lawson. Alice B would like to know what other pets you have. We know you have dogs. 2 dogs?
I have a dog that is my dog, Duke. My daughter has a dog and a cat, which the cat used to be my cat, and well, Duke tried to kill him, so he became her cat.
Gotcha.
And I've had parakeets, but I don't have any right now. So it's just 2 dogs and a cat now. And about 1,000 fish, roughly.
So Roxanne did get a gift. Good. It came in. She's like a kid on Christmas morning. It's adorable. And hopefully, I don't know. I missed it. So I don't know. Is there an unboxing or is there one coming? If not, I'm sure she'll do something else. So that'll be good. Hi, Kelly Foreman. She says coming in late, but coming in hot. What school did Chris matriculate from?
Oh, words. That's a big word. Matriculate. Does that just go to? Which school are we referring to?
Your last, let's just say your very last school.
Le Cordon Bleu of Portland. So, culinary school.
And Kenny wants to know what the answer to the ultimate question.
3.
Isn't it 42?
I think so, but
we don't know the answer though. We don't know the question though. And I think that's it. If anybody has anything else, we'll give it another minute, but we are at the bottom of the chat.
I bet Zen has something to say about the Z's, Chris. Was a comment in the chat by... Is that Mickham or Mike M?
I call him Mickey. But he's from Sweden. And very knowledgeable about fish keeping.
I mean, I've seen him around for a long time. So
yeah, it's probably he's told us so many times. And I always forget, which I feel horrible about.
Me too. There's Paul.
Alice B. He said that he didn't say exactly how he got into fish keeping. Just said he's had fish since he was 12. So yeah, how did you get started on the whole trip? What made you get your first fish?
My dad got me a 10-gallon aquarium, and then he got himself a 20 tall, I think it was. And my dad loves Oscars, so he never got an Oscar because that required too big of a tank. And it was this is the ironic thing. My mom didn't like the tank, so now that they are getting closer to retirement ages. My mom's retired. My dad's a pastor. Now my dad is like, no tanks in the house. This is just no. And so my mom has got a 10-gallon aquarium now. Because you know who rules the roost, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
But yeah, it was really, I was influenced by my parents, my dad predominantly with that. So Ricky has a question. I didn't see the Zen Ginger question.
There's a couple more there too, but go ahead and answer Ricky's. Yeah.
Ricky asked, do you plan to stream regularly in the future? The only thing regular about my streams, Ricky, will be there'll be members only streams on the last Tuesday of the month. That's it. I don't plan on streaming anymore for the foreseeable future other than my members only ones, because I promised my members that I would give them a stream no matter what at the end of every month. And I'm a man of my word. So to be honest, streaming doesn't help my channel anymore. So,
and you don't enjoy it. You said it stresses you out quite a bit.
So. Well, it does stress me out quite a bit. And if I don't get questions, like when I get to this part of my stream, I've gotten more questions on your stream than I got on my own today. But if I don't get questions, then I can't, and I love to help people.
Yeah.
If I don't get those questions, then I'm literally sitting here staring at a screen with dead air, and I don't know what to do. And the only other thing to do is to just end the stream.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like doing. So,
well, you said something when I was on your stream a long time ago. You said that you were more of a fish tuber and I was more of a live streamer. And I agree with that 100%. I barely make any videos, whereas you make a lot of videos, and I do all the live streams. So yeah, there's definitely room for different types of content creation. And I think you got to find whichever one does the best for you. And I'm not saying the best for you as far as getting subs and all that. Whatever it is you need out of it. Like I said before, I get very energized on doing. I don't get stressed out on doing these streams. It's very energizing for me, and I love doing it. I enjoy it so much. A lot of people don't. A lot of people feel like they need to do them, but they don't really enjoy doing them. So I say don't.
Yeah. Well, when I first started this, like when you're a young channel, like really at the beginning, you've got less than 100 subscribers. Stream as much as you can. If you really want to grow your channel, stream as often as you can. You may not get a lot of people, but that's going to give you your watch time. And then eventually the subscribers will start to roll in. When you break that 100, YouTube recognizes that you broke 100, and they start pushing it out to a few more people. And streaming is what helps you get to that 1,000 and the 5,000 watch hours. I would not have hit that if it weren't for streaming. So don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I started off with 2-hour streams every single weekend. I got up at 5 a.m. and I did a stream from 6 to 8. And I had a gamer headset on, and it was a terrible stream. You don't even want to go back and see those, trust me. But yeah, I streamed a lot, and it was because of streaming, I think, that my channel grew. It didn't grow quickly, but it grew as fast as it did because I streamed.
Yeah.
Had I not streamed, I wouldn't have hit the watch time hours. I'd still be working for those.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
and I tell people all the time, the biggest, I have an incredibly small channel still, very small, but if I can give any advice is find your voice, find what you enjoy doing. First of all, you got to enjoy it, because if you're not going to enjoy it, you're not going to get rich from YouTube. You're not going to get rich from YouTube.
No. I get like $100 every 2 months.
Well,
so I'm thinking I'm somewhere in the $600 range. No, don't worry about that. I mean, it's not even important to me, because when I cut back my streaming, I was just about to break that so that I would actually be getting a check once a month. But like I said, the money is not as important to me as my peace of mind. I'm not going crazy now.
Yeah.
And I'm doing the type of videos that I like. I'm doing the South American cichlid series right now on my channel. Yeah. And I'm doing all this other stuff. And
it's longevity. See, you can do that for the long term because it's not something you dislike.
Right. And as an example, this is part of the reason why I chose this, because I'd gotten a couple bigger channels, much larger channels than me, Corey and KG Tropicals, to name a couple. There were several of them, though, not just those guys. They told me, don't stream. Stop streaming. Now that you're monetized, stop streaming. Only do videos. And the reason why, because they know that I want to do this as a business as well as, as my hobby, is because my streams aren't replayable. There's very few times that people will go back and rewatch my stream.
See, you're the second person to say that in just the last few days, but I get a lot of people going back and watching the replays. I mean,
the replay within like the first week or what have you.
Even later. Yeah. I have one video that I did a stream 6 months ago. It's still in my top 5 all the time.
Oh, see.
It's a 3-hour stream too.
Oh, dang. They're bouncing through it or something.
It's different though. So that's what I'm saying though, is there isn't one way. People that say you got to do this and you got to do that, all you got to do is find what makes you happy and what's your thing. What's your thing. That's what you got. That's the only thing. There's a million different routes to get to those locations, but
oh yeah, I mean,
do what you got to do.
For instance, you got a lot of views on that stream, and I've got a convict cichlid video that's 2 years old that's pushing 60,000 views.
Yeah.
Because I found the right formula. It's like the title was right. The picture was right. The thumbnail is just a picture of a convict cichlid. There's no text on it.
The content was right. You made something that people wanted to watch.
Right. And I've made 2 of those videos. They're both 2 years old. One of them has 2,000 views. One of them has 59,000 views. They're within 6 months of each other. I was like, hey, that worked. Let me do it again. But I did a different title, and it's got 2,000 views instead of 50.
See, that's the weird thing. I think you could spend all day trying to you could spend your entire life trying to nail down exactly what people are looking for. So
yeah,
and you just got to find what you enjoy doing and make the videos that you want to watch. And again, if you're not really having fun with it, I get it. Sometimes making some of those videos, especially the people that do all the crazy editing, they really want to put out a good product, and they like that. They enjoy doing that. But if you're not really having fun, I just don't think you're going to stick with it.
No,
I don't think I think you'll burn out, and you'll just stop doing it, and you're gone, and then everybody goes, "Hey, what happened to that guy?"
Yeah, and it's like my stream. I did enjoy them. I had fun at the time when I was talking to somebody or I had a guest. Having guests makes it a lot easier on me because then I have somebody to fill in when I can't think of anything else to say.
Gotcha.
And that works out great. But I can't even remember where I was going from there. That ADD.
That's one thing I have is I just
I'll start a sentence and can't finish it.
I don't have a problem filling in the space with talking, and keeping this stuff going. That seems to be my strength. If I had to pick one strength that I have, it's that I don't shut up. And it's a strength. It's a strength.
Yeah, I have a tendency to ramble too, but it doesn't make any sense. You actually make sense when you ramble. See, but I think I was going with the I stopped streaming because I wasn't enjoying it, but I do enjoy editing videos. I mean, I was spending like I was telling you 2 hours to prep a stream. I can spend the same 2 to 3 hours editing a video, and it just gives me more longevity.
You enjoy it. Yeah. It's different.
I enjoy making a video. I enjoy editing the video, and then I enjoy going back because I got YouTube Studio on my phone. I check it like every day. How well did that video do? How well is it doing now? How well is it doing 2 days later? And I check it. I'm a analytics kind of guy, so
yeah,
I like to see the numbers.
Matt, it's the last Tuesday, and it's at noon Eastern Standard Time. He was talking about your members only. Well, I did not eat dinner before we started this because I had to set up the new camera, and set up the new router. So I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it. Chris,
did I answer one question? Because I see a question on the screen real quick.
Yes.
Mickey asked, favorite cichlid I don't have but would like to have. And that was Frontosa until IHSP got me 10, sent them to me. But now
to do.
There's a fish that I would love to have, and it's not a cichlid. So I'm going to say my favorite fish that I would love to have right now is a black morpho tetra. I want like a dozen of them, and they're freaking expensive. You're talking a $10 tetra that's only 2 inches long.
What is your most expensive fish you've ever bought? And I don't mean what's the most. Let's rephrase that. What's the most you've ever spent on a fish?
$65.
Okay.
Per discus. I had 10 of them in my living room tank. They got attacked by fungus and ick at the same time and wiped out the tank.
Oh.
But yeah, the most expensive, I spent $600 on stocking the 75 in the living room. And it was just discus.
Ricky said my strongest muscle is my jaw muscle.
Your strongest muscle is your jaw muscle.
Okay.
So yeah. Chris,
thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. This has been a blast.
Glad we
if you ever run into a pinch again on a Tuesday and you're like, hey, I need a guest.
I actually have a very long list of people who have said I'm willing and able at a moment's notice. I see Paul Sotera. He's on that list, and there's a bunch of other ones.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have been very gracious about that. And I really wasn't going to go tonight because, well, first of all, I hadn't planned it. And my wife, Michelle, is leaving on Saturday to be gone for a week, which is the longest we've been apart in 30 years. So we were going to hang out a little bit together, plus everything that happened. But I saw you in the stream. I was like, you know what? Chris and I have been going back and forth for so long. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So again, thank you for jumping in.
I'm glad you said yes, because I'd have been sad.
And if you could, again, please drop Chris's link again, just to make sure. I'm sure that everybody in here is subbed to you. I can't imagine anybody is not. But just in case there's anybody out there that
if I could just I'm going to do a shameless plug here, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I would absolutely love it if you guys just check out my website, multitankaddiction.com. Please check it out. Everything that's in there is marked out of stock. I can get it. I don't have it here, but I can get all of it. So if there's anything that's on my website that you would like, just email me and we can talk about it. Also, if you could just check back in a week, every week or so, because I am going through, I've got half of a spreadsheet that's like 4 pages long, and I'm entering each fish with picture, description, pricing, sizes, all of that stuff. Each fish takes about 15 minutes to enter, and I've already entered about 50, counting the tetras. And I got about 75 more to go. And, the tetras took 4 hours to enter in. So, and that was like 15 fish. So I would really like it if people could come in just, every once in a while, bounce onto the website, see if there's anything new. And then I'm hoping that the website will go live in April, at the end of April.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. Hopefully it takes off and I can tell Advanced Auto Parts, bye-bye. I would love to be able to just send you guys fish for a living.
Yeah, that would be a great goal. And I'm wishing the best for you.
Yeah. No, I'll be sure to send you a Cuban cichlid for sure. Okay, Rico?
You don't want any fish. Do not send me fish, people.
It's like, I'm downsizing, damn it.
I'm getting rid of all the guppies, except for my summer tubbing. But all right. Thanks again. Next week we have Alexander Engelhart for our guest. That's going to be a lot of fun. And some other good guests lined up too. I mean, you mentioned that I've interviewed so many people. I think you're the 60th. I think you were the 60th interview. So it really
dang, I should have waited 8 more spots.
It really isn't that many though over the grand scheme. There's
thousands of people. Call me in 7 more. I want to come back.
Why? Why, Chris?
Because I enjoy hanging out with you, Rico.
Oh, I thought it was the number that you were.
Oh, no, that doesn't nothing. 68's nothing, right?
Well, the first one I thought you were going with a different number. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. Have a good night.
Have a wonderful time.
I don't know that I don't think Ladies' Night is going tonight. I think they're done until the fall. So you've got Bentley Pasco. I'm not sure. Check out fishfam.link and see
calendar. Because if you go to my website, the calendar is way out of date. So don't do that.
Go see. I know there's more going on tonight though. So go watch some more streams and spread the Fish Fam love. We'll see you guys.
Have a wonderful time.